Welcome everyone to our iDegree workshop, Student and Academic Success at Gies. My name is Kate Deering. We are going to give everyone another minute or so to join us today. We're excited that you are here. I did just put a note in the chat. If you want to check out our new website, feel free. That way you can kind of do a little poking around, and if you have any questions that pop up, let us know. So I have kind of, let's see, 12:01 here. So we'll just get started slowly and kind of move through this kind of beginning slide. But welcome. As I said, my name is Kate Deering. I am an assistant director within Gies Online program. So I work in the recruitment space for our online graduate certificates, non-degree courses, as well as our 3 master's degrees. So we're very excited to have you here taking your first step to kind of digging in a little bit more with some information on our programs. You may have noticed on your screen here, if you do have questions and you'd love to chat with us here in the next day or so, feel free to scan that QR code and a member of our team, one of our admissions counselors, will reach out to you to have a conversation, talk about your goals, really discuss kind of which program or which credential might be right for you. So go ahead and scan that QR code if you're interested. As we move throughout our presentation today, we have a great webinar today, really highlighting student and academic success at Gies. I will say, if you have questions as we move throughout, go ahead and throw those in the Q&A. We don't have a huge audience today, but putting your questions in the Q&A does enable everyone to be able to see your answers. It just kind of keeps it a little bit more clear. And then we save the chat for some kind of fun engagement or comments as we move throughout. So just wanted to mention that. Our agenda today, we are going to touch on Gies as a whole. I want to just give you an overview of all of our credentials and our programs so that you have a good idea of what we're all about. We're going to talk a little bit about course structure. We'll go through briefly our 3 master's degree programs, and then we're going to get to the meat of our webinar today on student and academic success. We have a lot of support that's available to our students, so we wanted to just offer a webinar that can really dive in a little bit more specifically to what that looks like. And then we'll have plenty of time for the Q&A at the end. I do want to pause here. So we do have a special guest, which is exciting, Andrew Palladino, and he works in our advising group, or the student and academic support specialty area. Andrew, do you mind introducing yourself and just giving a little bit of background, I guess, is how you joined Gies and what you do currently?
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Andrew Palladino. I am a senior student and academic success specialist with the advising team. So once you all are admitted and everything like that, there's the potential where you might work with myself or one of my colleagues. And what we primarily do is we work with our students who are in the iMBA, the iMSA, the iMSM, as well as our graduate certificate programs, and making sure that we help support you and your goals, and making sure that we're there as a support and an advocate for you all while you're going through your program. I've been with the university for about 3 years, and it's been really exciting to see how the programs have grown and seeing and meeting all the new students. So looking forward to getting the chance to talk with you all today.
Excellent, Andrew. Andrew, where are you located?
I'm sorry, Kate, you cut out a little bit.
Where are you located?
Yes. So I am actually in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. So I'm a little bit north of campus. But the cool thing is with my position, I am able to work remotely, and a lot of y'all are remote as well. So it's kind of an interesting point.
Excellent. So for those of you that are joining us, throw in the chat where you're located. We always love to see where all of our students are joining us from. Our programs are global, so we're used to having students from all over the world, so we always get excited to see where everyone's from. So I'm going to just get started here and talk a little bit about Gies Business Online programs. For those of you that are not familiar with our programs, I did want to give you an overview of really just what we're all about. And our programs are made up of three main qualities. The first one being flexibility. So this learning environment is 100% online. Our mission is really providing education to full-time working professionals all over the world so that everybody has a chance to access education. There's no travel requirements required for any of our credentials. And they're also course to pace, or they're paced to fit your needs. So you can take 1 or 2 courses each 8-week term. Now you have the student and academic support team, Andrew's team, to help you through that process of degree planning. And he's going to talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. But one great thing I think as far as the flexibility in our program as well is our degree plan flexibility. We don't have a set way that you have to move throughout your degrees. We have a lot of flexibility. You're in charge of your degree plan, making your elective choices, things like that, choosing which courses to begin with. With the guidance of our student and academic support team, it's your plan. So another flexible area of Gies Online. And then lastly, our tuition is pretty flexible. We have a pay-as-you-go tuition model where you only pay for the course that you're registered for at that time. So really, really nice extra flexibility there. The second quality is stackability. And I just wanted to touch on this a little bit. We'll talk about the stackable build here in our next slide. But our courses and credentials, they work and they stack together. We have so many access points to meet you wherever you're at in your learning journey. Even our newly launched back in fall 21, I guess it's not super new anymore, but our Masters of Management program, we just recently announced last year that it is now fully stackable into our MBA program. So we have so many options for you. And our team, our recruitment and admissions team, has a lot of admission counselors that are happy to chat with you, just to help you figure out which path is the best one for you. And then lastly, online by design. So I just wanted to touch briefly on this. This program was originally designed back in 2016 for online MBA program for thousands of learners worldwide. So back then, we developed this plan to create highly engaging content that you can really access anywhere in the world. So you don't have to give up your family time, you don't have to give up your vacations or your job. You're able to access it anywhere and on your own timeline. It's also designed to have a lot of collaboration and many interactions with your students and your faculty. So we definitely kept that high in the list of things that we wanted to include in these online programs. So moving back a little bit to Stackable Build and the access points that we have. So this is a great slide illustrating how many different ways that you can enter one of our programs. So the first little kind of orange box there is a Coursera MOOC. So you can enter by taking a Coursera MOOC and building upon that foundational knowledge. We're going to talk about what that means, what that foundational material looks like here in a minute, but that is an easy access point if you don't know where to get started. If you combine 2 MOOCs, those are both included in one of our 4 credit hour courses. So every 4 credit hour course has 2 MOOCs built in within. In addition to that, then you're going to have a high engagement component that comes from Gies, and we'll explain that as well. So that's a non-degree 4 credit course. If you combine 12 hours of 4 credit courses, you can earn a graduate certificate. So these are really excellent. If you're not quite ready for a full master's degree, you can come in and take one of these specialized areas of a specific topic, like strategic leadership, for instance, or maybe digital marketing, or we have several accounting graduate certificates, where you just want to get some expertise in that specific domain. And then you would be able to stack that as well into one of our 3 master's degrees. So again, you're gonna notice this theme. Everything works together and is basically stackable into another step, just like our 3 online master's degrees that we'll talk about. That's kind of the highest step. So those graduate certificates are stackable into our master's degree programs, as well as having the MSM, or the Masters of Management, is also that full 36 hours is stackable into our MBA program. So a new new access point and a new stackability that we've recently announced. So one differentiator, I think, of Gies Online compared to a lot of other programs out there is our online by design structure. And it's for those of you that are new to Gies courses, it's really a great idea to understand how we deliver our information. And it's made up of two components. The first one is a Coursera component. These are MOOCs, or massive online open courses. Every 4 credit hour course that we offer has 2 MOOCs included in it. These are non-credit. They are done asynchronously. You will earn a digital certificate at the end of completing a MOOC. If you're just starting out and you're starting with Coursera, you would enroll through Coursera. And if you apply through one of our Gies applications, like a non-degree course, a graduate certificate, or a master's degree, those MOOCs are going to be included within your coursework. These include pre-recorded videos from your faculty members, some self-assessed quizzes. There's going to be some reading assignments and some peer evaluation. The other main component of our courses is the high engagement component. So this is really the meat of the course, where you're going to have involvement, interaction, collaboration with your faculty members, as well as your fellow students. It's housed on the Canvas platform, and it builds upon that MOOC material, those 2 MOOCs that are included in every 4 credit course. What's included in the real engaging part of it is one 90-minute live weekly session with your faculty member, where you'll have small group breakout sessions. You'll be discussing it in front of your professor, just like we are here in this Zoom webinar. It would be a meeting, actually, so you'd be able to unmute yourself and speak freely with your professor. They might call on you during those sessions. Then you'll also have group projects where you'll work with 4 to 5 other students on a specific real-world kind of project that your professor brings and is part of the syllabus. Then you'll have faculty office hours, which are a really great asset to our students as well, where you can pop in and speak with your professor. So they're very accessible. So those 2 components, the MOOCs and the high engagement component, that's what makes up our 4 credit courses. So they really work well together. And again, we love focusing in on the interaction, the collaboration that you're going to have in a virtual setting. So I did want to just touch on the 3 master's degrees, so you have a base knowledge of what degrees that we offer. Now remember, we also do have 11 graduate certificates. If you're not quite ready for a master's degree, you can apply to a graduate certificate program and earn 12 hours of credit that eventually could be stackable into any of our 3 master's degrees that we're going to talk about here in a moment. Since there's 11, I wasn't going to get too deep into those, but I'll share the link to all of the graduate certificates that we offer here as soon as I switch over to Andrew. And that way you can look into those if those are of interest and a better starting or access point for you. So the first degree I wanted to talk about was the Master of Science in Management. This is a degree that will be great for students who are possibly just starting out their higher education, and they're a recent grad, and they're looking to build a foundation to start their career. We also have a lot of students that could have 10 plus years of work experience, maybe highly technical experience, who are looking to pivot and lead a team or really develop some strategy for their current employer. This degree comes in right at under 12K. You can take anywhere from 1 year to 5 years to complete this degree. And honestly, you can start anytime in the year. If you're ready, we have a start date coming up for you, because we have January, March, May, August, and October that you can start this degree. Included in this are 6 core required courses, and then you're going to have some elective choices, which is really nice. You really get to cater your MSM to a little bit more of, your career and what you're learning, you're looking to learn. And then one last reminder, this MSM degree, these 36 credit hours are stackable into the MBA program. The second master's degree that we offer is the Master of Science in Accountancy. This degree is going to be for those that feel like they need a better foundation of accounting skills, maybe in their current role, or perhaps you're a career changer and you're starting fresh and you're needing a full accounting base. So this is a great place to start building your knowledge. 20 to 28K. This total cost includes all tuition and fees. It is a range because we do have different costs as far as our electives go. You do have to choose one non-accounting elective, which are going to be less tuition per credit hour. This degree goes anywhere from 18 to 36 months, but you do have a maximum of 5 years to complete. And we have 3 start dates, January, May, and August. Included is 32 credit hours. 5 of those are core, and then you have 3 elective choices, or we do have a data analytics concentration that you can choose, which is great. Well, I'm going to wrap up here with the MBA. Throw in the chat. I'm curious which program everyone that's joining us today is interested in, so we can have a little bit of a better idea of which program you're looking at. Lastly, the MBA, Master of Business Administration. So this is for those who are looking for not only that leadership and management portion that the MSM includes, but also looking for a deeper understanding of the theory and the practical applications of running a business. This is a much more in-depth look at business management topics. 24K, a little bit less than 24K, anywhere from 2 to 3 years on average. Most students, and I'll have Andrew confirm this, but I think they're around 2.5 years. But again, you still have that maximum of 5 years to complete. 5 start dates, 72 credit hours. That's going to total 18 courses. So 12 of those courses will be core required courses. And then you're going to have 6 courses that are going to be your focus areas or your elective choices, which is really nice. And then lastly, you'll have 3 capstone projects. 2 will be on 2 of the specializations that you've completed. And then you'll have a program capstone at the end before you graduate. So another excellent master's degree, accessible from wherever you're at. So those are our 3 master's degrees. Real quick, before I throw it over to Andrew, I did want to touch on just one other major element of our online programs, and that's networking. I think oftentimes people have questions about how do I interact in this live setting? Besides being able to interact with your advising team, we also have a lot of opportunities to interact with your fellow students, our leadership team, as well as faculty members. Those are listed on this slide. So we have Gies-led opportunities, and we also have student-led opportunities. So we could dive into these a little bit further here in a little bit, but we host iConnects. Immersions are hosted 4 times a year, where our degree learners are eligible. 30 to 40 students go on a kind of a project-based either in-person or virtual opportunity where they're embedded in the community. They're going to work with a stakeholder, a company in the community where they have a project that they're working through. They'll do some cultural events. In fact, Andrew was lucky enough to go to Brazil here a couple weeks ago on one of our international immersions. So maybe he can share a little bit about that at the end. But really great opportunity. And then we have a lot of student-led opportunities. Workplace is a student-led social media group for just our students, where they share ideas on job searching, study groups. I think there's a group for almost every course that we have. They help each other just with just about everything. It's kind of a really nice, helpful group in Workplace, but you can find just about any help that you need on Workplace. Student-led meetups, our students really create their own organic meetups all over the world, which is really nice. And then just in your regular classes, you'll have a lot of group work where you're really getting to know your fellow students in depth. And that's an important part of almost every course that we offer. And then lastly, we do have some group opportunities that you can get involved in. like the ambassador group, new student guides, and also the iGBA, which is our graduate business association. So that's student led, and they work kind of as a liaison between the students and our leadership and faculty, expressing ideas and working through, different feedback from our students with our team. So a lot of great networking opportunities. So that's kind of a very brief high level look at Gies Online as a whole. And the reason that we offered this webinar today is that we do often get questions on what kind of help am I going to have during this program, and who's going to lead me through making my degree plan and setting all of this up. And I just want to make sure that everyone's aware we have a full team, and Andrew has been nice enough to join us today. So he's going to take it from here and tell us a little bit about student and academic success.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you everybody for spending some time and talking with me today. So for those of you who may not have been here when we first started, my name is Andrew Palladino. I am the Senior Student Academic Success Specialist with the advising team for all of the online programs. Kate, you can go ahead to the next slide. When it comes to what we do, what we really try to focus on, specifically the advising team, is we will work with you from your admission all the way to graduation. So you will have access to us the entire time that you are a student with us. As Kate has shared, we have a lot of excellent programs and excellent graduate certificates and everything like that. But one of the things that we want to make sure that you have is our continued support throughout your time in the program. We want to help you achieve your academic, your personal, and your professional goals, whether you're in the Masters of Accountancy, the Masters of Business Administration, whatever that might be. We want to make sure that we are here to help you and advocate for you as our learners during your time with us in the programs. Some of our main pieces when it comes to academics, so as I mentioned, we try to do academic, personal, and professional support. A big thing when it comes to our actual academic services is some of these things can include our degree planning. So your degree planning isn't necessarily just about selecting courses, but it's much more about making sure that we're creating a plan that's really tailored to you. So what goals that you have for the program, such as like, when do you want to have it completed by? Or you have 5 years to complete it, but do you want to complete your program in 2.5 years? Do you want to look at 3 years? Whatever that might be. What we really try to do is make sure that we tailor it to you and what you want from your experience. When it comes to course selection, what we really try to make sure that we're doing with you is, again, relating what we're doing back to those goals. But in this case, we also really try to relate it back to your experience. If you're coming into the program and you already have a vast experience with like accountancy, that looks a little bit different than somebody like myself who, numbers and I have never always gotten along. That would be a little bit different. We're going to try to make sure that we're trying to pair up courses and taking courses in a way that's going to work for you to help make this experience something that is an enjoyable one for you and something that you're really going to get something from. We can help you with time management techniques. We can help you with academic resources, whether it's identifying them, finding them, and making sure that you have referrals to them. Another big thing that we help you all is making sure that you understand policies and procedures. It's never a fun situation when you go do something, or if you had to drop a course or something like that, and you don't understand what's the result of doing that. That's where people like myself can really step in. We can tell you, when that next course might be offered. We can help you adjust your degree plan with things. And when it comes to the policies and procedures, we want to make sure that you are equipped with all the knowledge so you're not surprised by anything. Overall, a big approach of what we do is success coaching. It's not always just specifically, just picking out courses, but much more, we're trying to make sure that we're helping you engage in an experience that's going to be something that you really value, that you find a lot of enjoyment and a lot of fulfillment from. Some of our other student in support services, it's financial assistance. So we can help you identify certain scholarships, get you connected to some of those opportunities, and share what opportunities might actually be there. The immersions and capstone planning, so we can help make sure that you understand what capstones are, how to go about them, what may really work best for you and your goals. As Kate mentioned, for example, the immersions, they're a great opportunity. If you ever had the opportunity to take part in one, I would highly suggest it. We did have a very great time in Brazil, and getting to know a lot of our students in person is a really cool experience when the vast majority of what we do is online. So that's a really great experience. We'll also assist with referrals to our career resources, navigating other university resources. You will also have the opportunity to attend the optional networking events like iConverge. Kate mentioned that a little bit already, but that's the opportunity where students from our community that are all over the world can actually come to campus and meet in person and take advantage of some cool events and some great professional development opportunities. Degree graduation planning in general, navigating other events, whether it's some of those meetups that Kate mentioned, or even some things to really help you in and outside of the classroom. And the big thing is also making sure that there's a connection to peers. We want to make sure that you have the opportunity to really get to take advantage of your network. And I will say that within our programs, you have access to a very large network of people, and it's a really great opportunity. So I also do want to talk a little bit about our advising model. So we support our iMSM, our iMBA, our iMSA, and our graduate certificate learners. And we also will work with our non-degree students as well as our performance admission track learners. With our advising approach is we actually do operate on more of a team-based advising approach. So what we do is we make sure that within our team that our communication and everything like that is very well streamlined. So you can always pick something that's going to work for your schedule. So rather than always having one specific advising specialist that you have access to, you have access to our entire team. We have a total of 12 academic support specialists that are all here to be able to help you. So if I'm out for a week or something like that on vacation, or I'm out sick or something, you don't always have to wait for my calendar to open. You can meet with one of my colleagues and pick up where maybe right where we left off in our last appointment. Where our university is located in the Central Standard Time Zone. So everything that we do will be specific towards the Central Standard Time Zones. So whenever you are admitted and you're going through everything, make sure you're paying attention to time zones and when things are happening for courses versus where you might be located in the world. So big reason why we're talking is you want to know the reasons why it's beneficial to connect with us. Big thing is we make sure that we're trying to take an experience and make sure that it's personal to you and you're able to ultimately get what you want from this experience, hopefully on the timeline that's going to work best for you. So whether you're trying to get a promotion at work, you're trying to make a pivot in your career, whatever that might be, we want to make sure that your degree plan, your course selection, everything like that is going to be something that works for you. We want to support your professional, your personal, and your academic goals. We want to make sure that you are connected to resources and knowing that you are not alone and you have access to a lot of different things within this program. It might be online, but it still will have that experience where you have access to a lot. Making sure that you take advantage of the experiential learning opportunities, whether it's the capstones or whether it's the immersion capstones or any of the other opportunities where sometimes our students are able to work with our medical college. We want to make sure that you have access to those and that you know when and how to go about navigating those. Overall, we want to make sure that you know all of your options. It's hard to know what you don't know, and we want to make sure that we're there to help you know everything that you can to make sure that this experience is going to be something that really works for you long term. You can go to the next slide, Kate. So your next steps. So Once you are going through, so you apply that you're admitted into your program, you've completed your new student checklist, and you've completed the onboarding course. That's where then you can really start to access us. We want to make sure that our iMBA, iMSA, and MSM students all have access to us, whether it's appointments, express advising email, and then also that our graduate certificate students have access to us via express advising email as well. And then the next slide is just more of different ways to connect with us. So there are many ways that we are able to assist students. So email, one-on-one advising appointments, express advising, as well as phone. I will note that primarily the most efficient way to connect with a member of the advising team is most likely via the email or through one-on-one appointments. The phone calls can be helpful, but usually it's always kind of nice for us to be able to share screens with you and everything like that and work with you via Zoom and actually have that face-to-face interaction. And sometimes that's very helpful, especially when it's an online program. You still get to actually see the people and know that it's not a robot behind these things. It's us, and that we're here to assist you through this process. Then Kate, you can go to the next slide. I'm not sure if we're just utilizing this as questions for everything or if questions specifically. Okay, there we go.
No, that was amazing, Andrew. I think that gives us a perfect overview of your team and how your team can help. What questions does everyone have? I know that we have several participants here. Do you guys have questions for Andrew on the support that you'll have, or maybe a question about specific programs, the application process? We can answer any of those questions for you. While you're thinking of that, I did want to just touch on, if you are interested in applying, the next deadline is this Thursday, if you'd actually like to start in October. So we have the MSM program as well as the MBA program that are starting up this October. So you can start in a degree program. You can also just start taking one course as a non-degree student, try it out, see how everything works within Gies Online. That's an option. But that deadline's on Thursday, September 7th. If you're not quite ready to apply for Thursday, then you can apply for next spring, which would be a January start. Those applications open on October 5th with all of these advantages on the screen. So if you're interested in applying for a scholarship, that would be the time to apply by. That's our final deadline for applying for either a Forte or a Coursera scholarship. You can access Workplace and some of those networking opportunities that we spoke about. If you actually apply by now for October, you could come to iConverge, which is an awesome networking event where you'll see myself and Andrew present. You can start working on the Coursera portion of your courses as soon as you're admitted, which is a really nice feature to apply earlier than later. So lots of benefits there. So I did want to mention those. Here's that QR code once again. I am going to probably just check out the Q&A in the chat and stop sharing here so that we can answer your questions right now. Let's see. So in the Q&A, looks like someone attended Ghana but didn't graduate at the University of Ghana. So you have a lot of working experience. So for all of our credentials, we actually do require a bachelor's degree as a minimum requirement. We do have one potential opportunity, which is called the performance-based admissions track. If you don't quite meet that requirement, or maybe you have a low GPA, or maybe you have a gap in your work experience, you can apply via the performance-based admissions track, which is a great way to kind of be admitted to a program, but will take some of those factors into consideration. So you'll apply the regular route, and under term and program, you would choose the performance-based admissions track. And what that means is that you'll take 3 courses on average. The MSA is 2 You'll take 3 courses and you have to earn a B or better in at least 2 of the 3 courses. And then we'll evaluate your grades at the end of those courses that you take one at a time. And then we'll automatically admit you if you meet our minimum requirements. So an amazing opportunity. We can talk offline if you have specific questions about the performance-based admissions track. But a lot of colleges or a lot of programs don't have that option. So we're really proud to be able to offer that to students who might not quite be at the minimum requirements. Also, it's been a long time since a lot of our students have been in school. And let's be honest, sometimes we would redo that bachelor's GPA a little bit different. So we're definitely going to look at applicants holistically. We're going to look at your work experience, your academic history, your references. We're going to look at your whole package and make a decision. So great question. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Is everyone that applies before October 5th weighed equally when it comes to scholarship? Yes. So that is the only deadline that we have for scholarships. So once that deadline hits, we will review everybody for scholarships. This is a very competitive scholarship, though. I just wanted to note we don't have a ton of those that we award. So keep that in mind, but we do review every applicant that applies to any of our programs, regardless of the scholarship. You're being compared to yourself. We don't have a specific quota that we're fulfilling. We want the best students in our program that are going to bring the most to the table, be great collaborators, interact in your live sessions, and be just really great students. So those are the types of students we're looking for, in addition to having an excellent application. So if you missed that deadline, you wouldn't be able to apply for a scholarship until next fall, if we offer it. Hopefully we will. Let's see. Okay, so that how many scholarships do we award? I won't share the specific number, but as I said, it's very competitive. It's not a ton. So yeah, so go ahead and apply. We'll read everyone's scholarship essays that are included within your application. You do need to submit that at the time of your application submission. We won't accept them after, so make sure you do that as well. Okay, it looks like we've got most of the questions answered. Anything that you'd like to say to wrap up, Andrew?
Nothing specifically, but hopefully I'll recognize some of these names in either October or January or even in the future. But we will love the opportunity to work with you all, and hopefully we're a part of that process for you all.
Excellent. Yes, I love having partners in our team be able to come and meet some of these prospective students. And I agree. It's always fun to see them now and then see them after the interview process as admitted students, a full circle moment. So, so thank you, Andrew, for being here. We really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. And then thank you to all our participants today. We really appreciate you taking the time to put a little research into this. It's a big decision and we totally understand that, but we want you to know that we're part of your team and we will help you every step of the way from your application to once you're an admitted student. So you're going to have friends all along. If you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're here for you, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. So I'll go ahead and just put my email in the chat if you have any specific questions and you want to reach out to me. Otherwise, we hope that we'll see everyone soon. Have a great day.